Hello Patreon followers, hope everyone's doing well. I've spoken to a few of you individually in the last week, but to those I haven't, thank you for the continued support. Gambler update for you guys. Doing it on Wednesday this week, and we're doing it because there are some odds that have just been released, and I wanted to get this video up pretty quickly afterwards, as you know what these odds are like. They change, they go up, they go down, and if you've got strong thoughts on a particular market, it's sometimes the most sensible strategy to get those thoughts out and to consider placing your bet before the market has time to evolve and develop, because you know, public perception may make the markets go the other way. Anyway, we'll touch on that a little bit more. Before we get started, thankfully, the bet of the week won last week. A slightly more difficult win than we would have hoped, but in gambling, a win is a win and a loss is a loss, and it kind of doesn't matter if you win good or win bad. If you're collecting, it's the same result. So, Alexander Usyk defeated Maris Bradis by points, which was the bet of the week. I did have Usyk winning the fight, clearly. I know some people have had Bradis winning the fight. I know it's actually turned into a bit of a controversial topic. I had Usyk winning the fight, clearly. I had him winning by multiple rounds. But I would acknowledge it was a far closer fight than I had thought. You know, I thought Usyk would take Bradis to school. So there were a few nervous moments in the BG household, especially after the first two rounds, when Bradis took probably an early lead in the fight. But thankfully, we collected. We've done 3 bet of the weeks. We're 2 out of 3. I like the way it's going. Let's hope we can make it 3 out of 4 this week. If you're interested, obviously, full post-fight reaction review of Usyk Bradis is up on the channel. There is also a full pre-fight preview and prediction for Lawrence Okolie versus Isaac Chamberlain already up on the channel, which will be the fight we're going to talk about later on in the video for this week's bet of the week. So if you want to hear an in-depth conversation about the actual styles and that sort of thing, please check out that video. Because this is going to be more gambling focused content rather than talking about the styles. There's going to be a video up later on in the week about Dorticos versus Gassiev, possibly Thursday evening. I would imagine that will go up. So if you're interested in that fight and hearing the styles breakdown, that will go up. But yes, let's talk about the odds. Okolie versus Chamberlain. Now this is a market that I've been looking at for some time. The market seems to have settled. Okolie is anywhere from like 1 to 2 through to about 8 to 13, 4 to 7, those sort of prices with the main bookmakers. Isaac Chamberlain, if you shop around, you can get 7 to 4 with Stan James. Make sure you shop around if you're taking that price, because you know Ladbrokes have him as low as 5 to 4. That's a substantial discrepancy in price. The reason we're dropping this video early is because the method of victory market has just come live, and I've been looking at this most days to see when this market was going to come live, and it is now live, and there are substantial discrepancies between the bookmakers' odds. For those of you who watched my pre-fight prediction video, you will know that I've picked Lawrence Okolie to win the fight by knockout. Well, the odds of that vary dramatically between the bookmakers. Stan James and Sportingbet go 11 to 10. So if you put £10 on, you return 21. 10bet, who I must admit I haven't heard of previously, and one other company, Sport Pesa, I think is the pronunciation. They're on Odds Checker, so do check them out if you're interested. Go 7 to 4. And some of the major bookmakers, Coral, Ladbrokes, go 6 to 4. So that is a huge discrepancy in odds. You know, if you're a serious gambler, the difference between 11 to 10 and 7 to 4 is very vast. You know, even if you're placing a tenner, you're making £11 with Sportingbet, you're making £17.50 with some of these other companies. So that's a 65% of your stake that you're getting if you shop around. So that's the key. So you can get up to 7 to 4 for Okolie by KO. You can get up to 3 to 1 if you shop around for Okolie by decision. You can get 3 to 1 on Isaac by decision. You can get 6 to 1 on Chamberlain by KO. And if you shop around, you can get about 28 to 1 for the draw. And, you know, the draw is not the most inconceivable result in this one. So if you're someone who likes to cover a few options, you could do worse than having 50p on a draw, let's put it that way. This is the kind of fight where, whilst I don't expect it to go the distance, you could see there being scope for a rematch here, let's put it that way. Anyway, my prediction for this fight is Isaac Chamberlain will be knocked out by Lawrence Okolie. If you want full analysis as to why, the styles, the advantages I believe Okolie has, it's on the video that's up on the main YouTube channel. Check it out. But that is my prediction, and I think 7-4 represents a huge amount of value for that to take place. And I think by the time it gets to fight night, I'd be surprised if that 7-4 is available. I'd actually be surprised if that 6-4 is available, because what you'll find is that punters who maybe aren't hardcore boxing fans go into their bookmakers. They see Lawrence Okolie, who they know from the Olympics. They've maybe seen him on some AJ undercards. They know he's got this reputation of a mega puncher. And he's up against this guy who's a lot smaller than him, who doesn't have any knockouts, who they probably haven't heard of before. And they're seeing 7-4 on Okolie to win by knockout. You know, I'm not sure that 7-4 price will last, and nor should it. Yeah, Okolie to win this fight is about 1-2 on. Okolie is a big puncher. He is not someone who you would be confident is going to totally revolutionise his game and completely outskill and outbox Isaac Chamberlain over an extended distance. You know, that is not the kind of fight we have seen from Okolie so far. Now, he may put in that performance in this fight, and if he does, good luck to him. But I've got to base this on known form and what I believe is in a fighter's skill set. And when I look at Lawrence Okolie, I see him as a guy who's going into this fight looking to throw big punches, looking to take his man out of there. Isaac Chamberlain, he's shown a lot of heart and a lot of durability, particularly in that Wadi Camacho fight. But this probably is a step up for Isaac Chamberlain. And there are signs of defensive openness in Isaac Chamberlain. And I'm not sure if he has got the footwork and the movement to outmaneuver a big puncher like Lawrence Okolie and stay out of trouble over an elongated fight. So I'm going Lawrence Okolie. I actually think 7-4 represents real value on the Okolie knockout. I think there's a 50% chance Okolie will win this fight by knockout. Do you know what I mean? And when he's 1-2 on to win, I expected that he could even be odds on to score the fight by knockout. You know, I really did. You look at like the odds in Dorticos Gassiev. Gassiev is a similar price to win the fight, like 4-6. But Gassiev to win by knockout is still odds on. You know, I'm not sure why Okolie to win on points is such a, you know, a big player in this market. Some bookmakers have that as low as 9-4. Now it could happen. I'm not saying it's an impossibility, but I'm just not seeing the Lawrence Okolie who's gonna outbox Chamberlain over 12 rounds. I think he's going to, or 10 rounds, I'm not even sure how long the fight is. I think he's going to go out there from round 1 and be putting heavy lever out there and looking to close the show. And my gut instinct is he'll do it. I think there's a 50% chance, if I'm sitting here, I think there's a 50% chance the fight ends in an Okolie knockout. And that's 7-4 or even 6-4. You're incentivized from a value betting play to take those odds, in my humble opinion. Now, clearly, with gambling tips, everyone's opinion is different. You've got to follow your own opinion. You can't spend your life following my opinion if you disagree. If you think Isaac Chamberlain's going to win the fight by points, I'm not telling you necessarily to follow my advice, because you should do what feels right for you. But if you're a value betting player, and if you agree with me that Lawrence Okolie to win by KO is the most likely option in this fight, when you're seeing odds of 7-4, I think you need to consider that. And I think that does represent some real good value going into the fight. It's this week's bet of the week. Clearly, when you're taking a price at 7-4, the bookmakers are saying it's less likely to happen than it is to happen. So, you know, the balance of probability, the odds tell us that we have a greater than 50% chance of losing our money here, and that is something to take into consider as you're placing our bets. You know, but for me, 7-4 is enough value to get me very, very interested. And being frank, 6-4 probably would be as well if I couldn't get any of the 7-4. Let's talk some of the other markets just briefly, as I don't want to make this purely an Isaac Chamberlain Okolie video. Murat Gassiev 4-6 versus Unier Dorticos. Dorticos 6-4 with 3-6-5. Yeah, 6-4, one of the better prices available. Very, very even fight, very competitive fight. I favour Gassiev in the fight, but I think bookmakers probably have it just about right. You know, I think I'm not seeing a huge value play. I would have looked at Murat Gassiev by KO if it was similar prices to, you know, the Okolie prices I've just referred to. But actually, if you look with the bookmakers, a lot of them have it odds on. You know, 365 have it 10-11. Board Sports have it 5-6. That's actually the kind of prices that I was expecting the Okolie knockout to be. You know, I was amazed when I was seeing 6-4, 7-4. You know, I thought that was very generous from our good friends the bookmakers. yeah, I'm kind of swerving Gassiev Dorticos. I think Gassiev probably will win. I'm not seeing a huge value angle in that fight. The other fight this weekend a lot of people are talking about is Cheeseman versus Carson Jones. The price on Cheeseman has dropped through the floor. You know, you were getting better than 1 to 2 a week or two ago. He's now like 4 to 11 with Betfred, 4 to 13 with 10bet. You can still get 4 to 9 if you shop around a little bit, but you know, this is a big step up for Ted Cheeseman, and you know, I don't want to be taking 2 to 5 or 4 to 9 about him in a step up when I've not seen him fight at this sort of level before. Conversely, Carson Jones, always a guy you could think of as having upset potential. I was ringside when he upset Ben Hall about a year or two ago now, but you know, again, do you want to be taking prices like 7 to 4 or 2 to 1 on him beating Cheeseman? Probably not. It's maybe another one we could relook at prior to the fight when the markets become available for like method of victory, that sort of thing. But right now, it's one that I'm swerving. So yeah, there's my take, guys. Not a long shot that's jumping out at me this week that makes me want to scream about it from the rooftops to you guys. We're 2 to 3 on bet of the week. Let's take Lawrence Okolie by KO. It's the bet of the week this week. Let's hope we can make it 3 from 4 and grab a bit of that value. Many thanks indeed. Let me know if you watched this video. Leave a comment on the Patreon or on the video. Interested to see you know, how many people are tuning in. And yeah, thanks for the continued support, guys. I hope you are enjoying the Gambler content. This is a evolving thing. We're very new to doing this on the channel. You know, it's only going out to Patreon subscribers, so it's not being seen by the masses. I'm open to feedback. You know, if you enjoy the content, if there's things I'm saying that you don't like, if there's things I'm saying that you do like, let me know. This is a service that is created for the people who support the channel, so I want to make sure it's a service that continues to be of interest. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Speak to you all soon.